Hi, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. So, one of the worst things ever that could happen to a motovlogger just happened to me. So, you see me here riding my Road Glide 2009, and I had a fantastic time today. And it's starting to get cold, by the way, down here in the Sunshine State. Not really that cold. I don't want to complain because I know some of you guys up north are getting hammered, but starting to get a little chilly. But I wanted to go on a ride, right? I initially planned Randy to go with me, and then essentially something happened. Kind of funny right here because if you see to my right, there is a truck there. The guy is kind of giving me a look. He's kind of like asking himself, "What is it? What is that camera that he has in the motorcycle bars?" Obviously, that's my 360. You're gonna see some footage here, but he was either looking at my camera or looking at my motorcycle or something like that. But again, I was having a great time and I decided to record some video and I make it home. I'm about to edit the video and I figure out that the audio doesn't work. And it's so frustrated. It's really frustrating. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm sure some of you motor vloggers out there have dealt with this situation in the past. So again, the audio is not working, but you know what? I decided to kind of come here, do a voiceover, and kind of share some of the thoughts, some of the things that I wanted to share regarding financing a motorcycle. So here's the thing. I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people want to get a bike, obviously, right? And a lot of times you just don't have the money, so you're going to have to finance a motorcycle. And you're not alone. I think it's like 70% of bike owners finance the motorcycle according to Harley or something like that. So again, it's not something new. It's not something that people don't do. People finance motorcycles all the time. And in fact, this bike that I got right here, I actually financed this bike. I got two bikes. I got a 2005 Road King Classic as of right now, and I got the 2009 Road Glide. And the Road King is mine, paid off. I got, I could sell it anytime I want to. And now I got this bike right here. And I actually financed the bike. So, again, here's the thing I wanted to mention about this before I even get into what I did or how you can do it. Just remember this, guys. Make sure you can afford it. Make sure that you can afford whatever payment you're getting, because a lot of times people make decisions based on emotions. Don't do that. Don't make decisions based on emotions. Make decisions based on the facts. How much money you're making, how much money you're putting down, what can you afford. Not just that's a pretty bike, because when you make decisions like that and you buy something that you cannot afford, then what happens is that you're going to have issues paying it. You won't be able to enjoy it. It will actually become a curse. And something so amazing that it is to ride motorcycles won't be there. You will actually have a curse, and it will be very, very difficult for you to enjoy yourself, right? So I wanted to talk about this because you know what? I think there is a way to do it that is right. And again, there's a way out there that may work. I'm not saying this is the best way. I'm sure there's other ways out there. But again, be really sure on the motorcycle you want to buy. And once you are 100% sure that's the bike that you want to buy, and you do all the research, you do everything that you need to do, and you're ready to purchase that bike, I would strongly talk to your bank first. And again, I want to put a caveat in this one because sometimes if you go to Harley dealers and things like that, they may give you something, they may give you, or they're running an offer. I know for a fact at one point they were running baggers for really, really interest rate very, very low and things like that. So obviously go to the dealer, get some information, be ready to walk out. You're not buying the bike on the first day. So get some information and then come home and go and talk to your bank. Because I'm going to tell you what I come to find out specifically for used bike, not really sure on new bikes. I have never purchased a new bike, but you want to get the best deal. And in order to get the best deal, you need to have either money or you need to have, well, essentially is money on hand. And a check does that to you. So this is how it worked out. I went to the bank and I got a check. I did all the process, everything. I went there, applied. I waited. It took about a day. They called me back. They asked for more information. I did the whole thing, right? The whole thing. And again, I did that before I got to the dealer. Now, I already made the decision that I was going to buy a motorcycle, and I knew what I wanted, and I knew my budget, right? It's not that I don't like the brand new Road Glide. It's just that I didn't want to, pay that payment or, afford that. So again, I wanted to buy something in this price range, ready to make that decision, and I went to the bank. I knew there were bikes in that price range that I was looking at that, there were multiple choices, and I went to the bank and I got a check. Now, that check was, in my case, it was all the way to $15,000. Now, I was not going to spend $15,000 at all. I wanted to spend anything between, I don't know, 10 to 11 around there, which I did. But again, they gave me a check all the way to 15,000, and they gave me the payment. And I believe the payment was about 294 a month for an amount of 15,000. Obviously, that's not what I pay. I didn't pay $15,000 for this bike, not even close. So, but again, that kind of gave me some wiggle room. So I went to the dealer, and I asked for. I actually did this before getting the check as well. I was in communication with those guys because I have bought the motorcycle. I have bought the Road King from the same guys, and I knew the guy, so he gave me, a payout, or out the door price. But again, if you have your check and you go to a dealer, at that moment you can negotiate a little bit better, in my opinion. You could go there and be like, look, I want an out the door price. And the good thing about this is that you don't have to tell them that you have a check. You don't have to tell them that you have money. You don't have to tell them that you have a trading. Even if you have a trading, guys, don't say anything. You don't have to tell them your percentage. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to try. They're going to try to ask you what percent you have. They're going to try to ask you who do you apply with. They're going to try to ask you all these questions because they want you to apply through their companies so they can make more money in the backside. And if you do any research here, you will find out that dealers do that kind of stuff, right? So you don't tell them anything. You walk there, you look at the bike that you want, and now you asking for an out the door price. You asking for, how much is it going to be with everything? License plate, registration, everything. Every single, essentially, fee that it is. You want to know the price. You want to know the price coming out the door. And my experience is that sometimes they kind of fire you with that. Sometimes they don't even want to tell you. When I went to buy an RV just a few months ago, which I did not got the RV, but the guy didn't even want to tell me. It was difficult. I spent hours trying to figure out, what was the out the door price, and they didn't want to tell me because they wanted me to apply through the company because they wanted to make more money. It's insane. So again, you walk there, you ask an out the door price, right? And when you get that out the door price, then you can start negotiating. And I guess this will be a little bit of how to buy a bike, I guess. Maybe I'll talk about that in a different video. But you could start negotiating a better price, and you have money. The fact that you have a check is so simple because, once again, you could just easily sign that check, put the VIN number, and let's go. It's time to pay off, right? So, again, I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying that going to the bank and applying is not a bad idea. I'm not saying that at all. It may be a good idea for some people. It may be something that you want to do. Maybe the Harley dealer's giving you some kind of, I don't know, something extra. I remember a dealer close to me here that at one point, if you bought a new Road King or something like that, they will put a 131 kit on it. So, again, you may get some good deals. You can walk there, ask some questions, check the website, and things like that. Definitely do that. But what I'm saying is simple. You know what? Sometimes if you go to your bank and you do the paperwork through them and you bring a check with you, it may be a very, very simple process. It may be one of those processes that you walk in, you already know how much you're going to pay a month. You already know what you got to do. You already know all that stuff, and it's just so simple. Give them a check, and that's it. And that's what I did. I'll tell you what. That's what I did. I actually got my out-the-door price. I call him up, and I say, hey, man, I'm coming to pick up the bike. I got my check, and, and I'm just going to go there and obviously give you the money for it. I showed up there. It couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes top. I remember I had to go to church. I even told the guy, hey, I'm in a little bit of a rush because my wife actually was going to church. I had to go home and take care of the kids. And the guy was like, oh, don't worry about it. Let's do this fast. Showed up there. I already saw the bike. I already test ride the bike. I already knew that I wanted the bike. All I had to do was sign that check. He wrote the VIN number in the check, and he gave me the motorcycle. Obviously, I had insurance and all that stuff, and it was that simple. I'm going to tell you guys, I done this multiple of times with banks. I have financed multiple motorcycles, and I really think that that is one of the best way because it kind of takes away some of the stress. Sometimes you go to the dealer and you're sitting around, you're stressed out. Now they're playing the game with you. They want to tell you, hey, you know what? If you pay this much, maybe we'll get you qualified. There is just so many different games that they are playing. You don't want to play none of those games. You don't want to do none of the stuff. You want to show up there and get your motorcycle. And the best way to do is to bring cash or bring a check from the bank. Obviously, we all don't have $10,000, $11,000 to bring with you. So you could bring a check from the bank and it's just essentially the same thing. All you have to do is sign it, put that VIN number, make sure you stay in the limits that the bank would tell you. You know, they would tell you how much you could spend, what is the max, sometimes what is the minimum. They probably would tell you, hey, you know what? Maybe you need a bike that is from this year to that year. In my case, they told me how to buy a bike from a dealer, how to be a dealer. So again, there are some requirements there, just like any other bank. But again, very, very simple. Shut up there with cash. I want to buy this motorcycle. Give me a price, and walk out. So that's how I finance my motorcycle. Again, is it the best way to do it? I don't know. That's just how I did it. If you did it a different way, let me know down in the comment section below. A lot of new guys here trying to buy a motorcycle and trying to get information. Just remember, if you finance a motorcycle, motorcycles tend to be a toy, tend to be something very, very fun, something that you will enjoy. You will have a blast. But if you can't afford it, it's going to be a curse and you're going to have lots of issues. So in my opinion, make sure you can afford it so you can enjoy yourself. I appreciate you guys watching. And as always, God is in control.